Hello everybody. Yeah, welcome back. And yeah, it's been a very long day today. I just had a outing this afternoon and a meeting just now. And yeah, finally it's time for some good old chess. No, unfortunately for those who normally follow me on Instagram, something is wrong with the Instagram software that we are using. Apparently there's a major change with their code base, and the live streaming software is they're trying to update it, but it's not going to be done anytime soon. So that's why I'm only streaming to YouTube today. Well, anyway, that's not going to stop me from looking at some good chess today. So let's take a look. So now I'm in the hourly Superblitz arena, which runs actually from 9 to 10 p.m. today. I am now halfway in the middle of the tournament, and let's commentate on some of the games. Yeah, so just to let you know, this when they say Superblitz on chess.org, that is usually refers to 3 plus 0. Even though that's also classified as Blitz alongside with 5 plus 0. It is rated, so expect quite a bit of stakes in this game. Okay, so without further ado, we shall go to the top boards. Okay, I have joined this game very late, where white is clearly a piece up, but he's severely down on time. And after this, actually white is going to lose the piece, and practically it's very hard for him to win this position simply because the king is in such a much better place position as well. So I mean, even with the time advantage, it's very hard for white to win anyway. I mean, his only hope for draw is to take this, and then after that, yeah, just go for the draw. Anyway, it looks like I just joining this game too late. So never mind. I will look for something else. Okay. We have a FIDE master playing over here, and we are in the late middle to end game, where black seems to have a slightly worse pawn structure. The isolated pawns here are not so good picking, but he has managed to solve the problem for at least one of them. So let's say after this, and he only needs to worry about this, but then after that, of course, white also has his own weak pawn to think about. And also coupled with the fact that these are actually opposite color bishops, I think this position is relatively drawish, to be honest. I think after the rooks go off the board, right, and then after something like this, yeah, then the position actually is, I think it'll be a dead draw from here onwards lah. Yeah. After this, then after that, the pawns. If these two pawns go off the board, then it's quite clear. And you see, yeah, now the rooks go off. I think black doesn't want to trade because he wants to retain some chances of a win. Now, of course, the problem is that if queen takes, then here comes and there's checkmate to follow. But now, of course, this is a problem. I'm not sure how white is going to defend this. I mean, pushing is one way, but then after that, no, actually no. The queen is still tight now, so it can't really. I mean, yeah, this happens. So yeah, I felt that there was no other way to hold the position. Wait, what? Okay, yeah. I think this follows. And actually, after this, is there a way for white to save? Interesting. Actually, there's none that I can think of. I mean, this just leads to mate straight away. Anyway, white times out, and I think there's no way for him to save. Let's just verify with the engine. Oh, there was a way. Yeah, trade the queens actually. But after that, I think it's a draw. Wait, is it? No, it says that black is completely winning here. I think it's because of the outside pass pawn. So that would, and the fact that white's pawn structure will be much weaker. Let's say after queen to d4 takes. This pawn structure is not looking too happy, and then after the bishop takes, these two pawns are going to fall. Yeah. So black is up a huge number of pawns. So yeah, he wins anyway. Yeah. Anyway, we don't have much time. Let's go back to the tournament and let's look at some other games. AI. Okay, it's AIM. For the uninitiated, AIM is actually a FIDE online arena title, Arena International Master. Basically, anybody can sign up for a FIDE online arena account, and then if you win a certain number of games, you get a certain performance rating and above, you get this online arena title. Anyway, it looks like this game is going on to the end game, and it looks like black is in a yeah, you know what? Let's just go for it. But anyway, Black looks like in a slightly better position, and I think he's going to win this anyway, cost of the time. So no point looking at it. Okay, this game looks interesting. Middle game. Oh, both sides cast on. Oh, how did the king ever get here? Probably they cast on the same wings, and then they are still trying to attack each other in the center. Yeah, I'm not liking Black's chances too much, simply because of this open B file here, and I think that White is in a better position to exploit it. Simply because, yeah, you look at this knight, he's here. That's one thing. The queen can easily swing over here, or maybe even here, and then just do a complete rook leaf. No, he decides to come here instead. I'm not so sure whether that move is correct. I feel that this will have more pressure because of the weak pawn over here. Now, yeah, now you see the bishop is actually disrupting a lot of White's plans to develop. I felt that Black should have just kept the bishop there. Yeah, instead of retreating. Then you can interfere with the potential rook leaf after this. Yeah, but I felt that White's strategy of attacking wasn't the best. Yeah, I felt that he should have considered this first. And then the rook leaf comes in because yeah, after this, definitely White is still have the slight advantage, just that it's not so clear anymore. F3, yeah, sound also. I was still thinking on this, simply because the indirect attack on Black's king just forces him to find a way out, and he can't really defend his pawn once again. You see now here is still not so clear. Like the game could still go either way if Black manages to defend, because the fact that all the White's pieces are going to be committed to the attack very soon, right, means that this king will be quite exposed, if that is the right word. Yeah, and now you see Black starts to counter attack. No, I mean he has to do something, otherwise White is just going to crush him with the central attack and stuff. But of course, I think White can also try and refocus his strategies by attempting to attack this pawn. Yeah, which is what he does, and then also coming down to hit. Of course, he can't play this now because then after the queen trades, then Black manages to hold, and yeah, free pawn. But I don't really. You see, this bishop is doing a good job defending. It is on the ideal square. Yeah. You let's say check, then the king just goes in, and oh, checkmate. Okay, that was quite sudden, but I think it just goes to show that White's attack already is very strong. He could have won much earlier if I think if he had considered this queen to a4 idea. Yeah. But still, a nice attacking win by White, just in time before Black's counter attack crashed through. Yep. Okay, let's look at other games. What? Any comments on my? No comments on my YouTube. Anyway, I'm not really expecting much comments today, because I'm not reaching out to my Instagram audience. So only my subscribers will be able to know that I'm streaming. Let's go to the middle boards and let's look. Yeah, I see almost everybody here is like 2K and above. It's like J standard, you know. So yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of high level games today. Right, what's happening in this game. We have a French defense, and his defense to French transposes into the advance, and I have no idea what's going on in this position now. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is theory because I don't really study French theory that deep. The only one that I am more familiar with is the advanced French. But Black seems to have given up the fight for the center, but in return, he is also trying to contest for White's seemingly dominant center. And after this, he could I mean, they are the typical follow-up moves like knight to c6, queen to b6, or you could even consider queen to a5 if White recaptures like this. Yeah. The only difference in the position now is that the pawn has the ability to move forward. So after, let's say, something like bishop to c4, then black has to be careful of the pawn advancing, because it can be quite nasty for white. Like basically, it can be nasty for black. Yeah, because if white is allowed to get this in, then suddenly the entire black's center does falls apart. Yeah. Yeah, I just realized I should move forward. Yeah. So I was wondering why the pieces were not moving at all. Then I realized that I was stuck on the first few moves. Okay, so how has the position changed? Black has the two bishops, but they are not so significant. The position is close, and I was already considering this bishop to f4 move, simply because you just want to kick the bishop away, kick the queen away, try to reactivate your pieces. And I think white's pieces are quite well placed, to be honest. I mean, this knight comes here, but it can quite easily relocate to other places. Oh, what is that? A blunder? Yeah, I think that is. Oof, dicey. No. The idea is that if it takes, this comes in. But you see, now I mean, white obviously knows that if he takes, he's losing, so he does not do that. He's not going to accept that. Of course, he's going to come crashing in and and try to go for the counter attack. The problem is that now this allows rook to f2 with three pieces aiming on this, and after rook to, let's say after bishop takes, then rook to g7 is coming in, and then after the trade of queens, actually no, he can't even do that because this comes with check. Yeah, so that is why I think he has to do this. He has to trade the rooks, and now it's very unclear because how black can't really follow up with a good attack. White, sorry. Oh, but this is a good resource. Yeah, h6, and I think black's main defense was, I was about to say bishop to f6, at which by this point basically blacks no longer have much attacking firepower over here. I think he can still try something with queen to h3 and bishop to f3, but the problem is after queen to h3, then yeah, white just takes here, and then yeah. So I think black makes the correct decision by going back and offering this queen trade, because he knows that if white trades queens, then black has the bishop pair to and an entire minor piece up, so black will be able to win this comfortably. Now obviously white sees that as well, and he doesn't trade. Instead he goes back and he tries to go for some tricks along this back rank, because again, if there's the trade over here, then suddenly it's back rank mate, and black can't really do anything to stop it. Yeah, black, sadly, he sees that and he doesn't fall for it. In fact, he just calmly takes the bishop, because that also solves the back rank problems. Yeah, so it still goes to see how white is able to generate counterplay. I mean, theoretically, white is completely lost here, actually, because black is just two bishops up. This is coming in, and yeah, white really is doing his best to try and create some counterplay, because as long as the queens are on the board, this game can still go anywhere, right? Especially in a blitz game, it's very hard for both sides to play, for the winning side to play for a win, especially if the queens are still on the board. You see now, white just dropped another bishop, and you see now he has the danger of, he is threatening perpetual basically. And now that the more that I look at it, the more I feel that it's quite difficult for black to escape perpetual, actually. Like if you see queen to f6, how is black going to run? Like here, and then what? He just has to go back. And yeah, well, yeah, he can still go for the perpetual if he wants to, but it seems that he's trying to run down the time. He's trying to, I mean, he managed to win back the material, and he's trying to play for a win over here, but that is very hard now, and I think he realizes it quite late, and now he's trying to go for the perpetual, but now that is no longer the case, because I think black can try to escape somehow. How can he? This is really practically very hard to play, especially when you're low on time. I felt that white should have just taken the perpetual at some point in time. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, but anyway, black has timeout. Sorry, I mixed up the colors a bit, but yeah, I think by this point, white was just trying to play for the time lah. Wow, this was wasted actually. I think at this point over here, yeah, black was just completely winning. I think the time really got to him. White really had this very nice save with the after this bishop dropped, then this was basically a draw. Yeah, I really don't think black can run away from this 3-4 repetition, to be honest. Yeah. But I think yeah, white decided he does have the confidence to play and try to win on time. So yeah, I respect that decision. Even though some people might question it. All right. We have 10 minutes left. I think we have time for about 1 or 2 more games. No, this is the end game, and I think this is still quite early, so we can look at this. 32 moves, so very late middle game. Black is trying to open up the position with good reason. The two bishops basically scream for open positions. That's the idea. And after this pawn advances, then there's the very dangerous pawn couple over here. Right. So how does white defend? Practically, I would say very hard. Yeah. Although I felt that this wasn't such a good idea. Okay, yeah. I mean, the idea is that you don't really want the pawns in this kind of structure. You want them like this, right? Like this. Yeah, they're passed, but it's very easy for white to set up a blockade. That's the idea. Right? You can just put a knight here for eternity, and then how is black going to continue? Oh, yeah. Something is just changed in the position, and now I think white. Now I think black is better. Now that he's managed to get these pawns rolling on the board, but of course, there is always this counterplay. So still, he has to be careful. Now the threat is this, right? And the idea is that after takes, no. I think white just gave out that pawn for nothing, if you ask me. And now black's idea is very simple. He wants to advance, he wants to get in the king. And that's, yeah, game over for white. No, this pawn will not amount to anything, if you're to be honest. And that was a nice move and there's a nice in-between move by black, by the way, because if black just took straight away, then it just take, and it's much harder for white to win. Sorry, it's much harder for black to win. Because the white king can still go over to the king side and create some nuisance over there. Yeah. Okay. Very nice game. And yeah, white resigned. So let's take a look at a couple of more other games. And we have a what looks like a English opening over here. Yep, c4, c6, and the typical bishop g2 Franchetto. And black adopts a semi-Slav position. White goes for the modern setup with the queen to c2. Idea is that white is trying to adopt the typical Catalan pawn structure with the queen to c2, and then after that fight for the center with e4, and then this bishop controls a very good diagonal along this light squares. Of course, now black goes for the Queen's Indian idea by contesting white along this diagonal. Yeah. And now the eternal question that I always face for white over here is, where is this dark square bishop going to go? Right. Very commonly it goes to bishop to g5 or bishop to f4. Both are very equally playable for white. At times I also seen plans like b3 and then bishop to g2. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like the position has changed. White made a very committal move by playing c5, by the way, because that not only it allows black the outpost over here, it also locks up the entire pawn structure. So both sides have to play a certain way by now. Yeah. For example, you see all these pawn pushes are very committal because g6, yes, you have the idea of like, oh sorry, I moved back by accident. you have the idea of restricting the light square bishop, but you also allow this. And in this position, I feel that white's bishop pair is slightly more active than black's, mainly because you look at black's light square bishop, it's just locked behind the pawn train completely. Maybe that's the reason why white chose to play c5 and commit to this pawn structure, because he knows that once the c6 pawn is unable to move, then this light square bishop is just doomed to being stuck on the back rank forever. Yeah. So yeah, black is definitely trying to generate some counterplay here with the f6, and then after knight goes back, I think he's preparing for the e5. Of course, the issue here is that, yeah, there is a compromise that it opens up the king as well, right? And when your opponent has the more active pieces, you don't really want to open up the position, because yeah, you're just asking for trouble. But I think in this case, black seems to be holding out well, because he's able to trigger a lot of piece exchanges. Yeah. Of course, he still needs to be careful of this, because if the pawn is allowed to advance, and then the queen comes into the open file, then suddenly white's king is just completely naked. And yeah, and then I think after a few more moves, black can resign. But I don't see that happening here at the very moment. I think white is still slightly better, because there are some targets for him to play for over here, but it can still go either way. There's still a lot of chess to be played in this position. Yeah. For one, I don't see how white can mount an attack over here. He really can only concentrate on here, and black can defend accordingly. If white wants to mount another attack over here, he needs to bring in some firepower. I mean, the file is closed. He can't really put any pieces on it. And yeah, I also want to say the queen f3 is probably the only move, but yeah, black now just goes for it. He just opens up the position and then goes in, and yeah, now the position suddenly becomes very complicated. So yeah, if for d4, sorry, d5 is practically a good decision by white to just complicate up this entire position. And whoa, very, very committal move. The knight sack. I mean, I haven't calculated all the tactics, but I think that after this and the series of trades, at least one of these rooks will be hanging. I think that's the idea. Yeah. You see, after this, yeah, if takes, then one of the rooks will be hanging. So that's why he has to trade first. And we see that black very quickly returns the material. And let's say after takes. No, after takes, I think black can hold. In fact, I would say that black is slightly better as well. So that's why white chooses not to trade queens, and now the advantage seems to be swinging over to white. Right, he has managed to occupy this 7th rank. After this, goes in. No, not really. He can still defend, but yeah, it's still very unclear if you ask me. Queen back, defending the f2 pawn. You can come here and then try to go for a check, but there are no perpetuals. That's the problem, because the rook defends is square. Yeah. So I think that this game, if both sides play accurately, it should be headed towards a draw. But okay lah, black still has slight advantage because of this passed pawn, and also of the fact that the pawn majority here is actually frozen. It can't really advance, so it's not really that big of an advantage for white. If I am black here, my plan will be something like he moves here and then try to give a check over here. Yeah. But I think practically that's very hard for both sides already. Like you see, again, the time factor is coming into play, and yeah. Again, I'm still in favor of this pawn trade. And hopefully force a trade of queens, and yeah. Anyway, that is not going to happen because white has just timed out. A pity, because really this game had the potential to become, actually it did become very exciting, and the end game had a lot of potential for black. Just that the time decided matters. Yeah. Okay, we still have 1 minute left, and let's take a look at some. This looks okay. All right. Wow, what complications are this? Where did this come from? Oh my gosh, Anaheim's defense. Let's go all the way to the bottom, and the knight has managed to find its way from here, and then somehow it made its way here. So I am wondering just how many moves has it taken? Has it taken for the knight to reach there? Black must have spent a lot of tempo on this. But one thing about, I just realized also, black is a piece up. And this bishop is a complete pawn in the white's position because there's no way there's no way white is able to touch this bishop and pawn pair, right? And white does the right thing by advancing, because if he takes and then suddenly the position is open up for the major pieces by black. So when you advance, now of course the problem is this: the pawn. So I think that will be black's next target. He can easily set up a blockade with this and knight back. But I think white seems to be taking over the initiative over here. I think exchange could have been considered, And then after takes, then a lot of the whites planned counter threats are gone. But no, I don't like this move by black. Okay, sorry, I take back my words. I mean, the idea is that why not just push? But then I realize he's being targeted by the pawn over here as well. I doubt white can hold this pawn, if you ask me honestly. Just knight to f5 targets, and then bring in a defender, but this is coming as well. I mean, of course, the idea is that white needs to be careful of this. Sorry, black. So if the rook goes out, then it's not so easy. Like he can't play rook here anymore because of this. That's the idea. Yeah. Oh, but he finds a different route to try to win. But this is covered by the knight as well, so can't come out. I think he has to spend a tempo to play f6 and then king out. I won't really want f5 because that is blocking the position of two very important pieces, this and this. And he goes for the rook trade, and now the king will come in, and also the f5 will come in. I'm surprised that they didn't trade straight away, but yeah, I guess the pin works. And anyway, white is very down on time here. So if black doesn't win on the position, he can at least win on the time. Yeah. I mean, I can literally just take now, and then I think psychologically white will be forced to think more and just lose some time. Yeah, white just timed out, so black wins this game. I mean, positionally he's already winning, so all fair to him. And yeah, we are done with the hourly Superblitz Arena, 10th July 2021. Congratulations to the winners, even though I don't know anybody of you. And yeah, I do hope to cover more of these arena commentaries whenever I feel like it. Yeah, just a shout out in case anybody is watching this stream and wants to play some good chess tomorrow. I'll be playing in this tournament by Public Chess. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. They are looking for more players. It will be 3+2 Blitz rated. So I just thought I wanted to do a shout out to them. Yeah, do join. The playing field here is really very strong, as I have found out to my expense many times. And I do hope that I'll be able to share with you some good games after the tournament. Thank you very much for watching, and see you another day.